Welcome to Muskegon Rotary. I'm Jason Pisecki. We've got a great program today. One of my favorite Muskegon people, Cindy Larson, is going to be giving us an update on the Chamber of Commerce. We're also going to do a vote for our new club treasurer. No student guests today. We'll have some Rotary trivia and do the four-way test at the end of the meeting. While Nancy McCarthy is coming up here to do our reflection, I will throw out our trivia. So, what is the largest annual public relations project for Rotary clubs in the United States and Canada? Any guess for the biggest Rotary project going on out there? Oh,
Leo.
And that was a good one. Well, I should have underlined the public relations because this one is it's the Rotary float that is at the parade, the Rose Bowl parade. The Parade of Roses, a Pasadena club, and it's seen by between 250 million and 1 billion people annually, and every Rotarian in District 5280 contributes $3 annually towards the float. So that's the biggest PR project Rotary has going.
Nancy was asked to wing the reflection this morning. So here goes. Holy Spirit, help us throughout our days, throughout our weeks, throughout this coming year. Help us as Rotarians to cling to our four-way test, to make sure that it's fair to all concerned, that it will bring goodwill and better friendships, and that it's the truth. Thank you for all that we have. Help us to remember that we are service above self in all that we do. Amen.
I was so busy getting Nancy to help out with the reflection, I forgot to do the Pledge of Allegiance. So we're off to a great start today. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance, and everyone can be seated, and we'll finish up lunch. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. All right, enjoy lunch, and we'll be back with our visiting Rotarians and guests.
Well, for those of us in the Zoom room, although he just turned his camera on, I wanted to, now that we have a really full Zoom in, I wanted to introduce everybody to Pastor Robert Blanchard. Pastor Robert is a couple weeks now in Muskegon after serving last in Lansing, and he is the new pastor at Community United Methodist Church up in North Muskegon, and is looking at the possibility of membership.
Welcome.
Welcome.
I just asked Kim if she could mute while we wait so that we could have a better conversation than hearing all of that background noise.
You can't mute Mike Bogus because that does the whole shebang.
Okay.
Okay.
Sorry.
Thanks, Kim.
I'll ask him if he can, I will send him a message. I don't know if he'll see it, but I'll ask him if he can mute himself.
Great.
Andy Bulow, you look so much better in your picture than you do in real life.
Ooh.
Did I say that right?
No.
I think it's.
I think he meant it the other way around.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Orville, why don't you send those 8 things from George Washington Carver to
who's ever editing the newsletter now. That's worth publishing.
Well, thank you. I will. Or actually, I don't do that kind of stuff very well, but I know somebody very close to me who does.
Well, good.
Walk it out here.
Are you actually outside, Sue?
Oh, yeah.
Out in the
You
cold.
must not be in Muskegon.
No, it's now 75 here.
Where's here?
Cape Coral, Florida, next to
Cool.
Fort Myers.
Have you been to see the manatees?
Not yet. They've just started coming in, so I'm gonna go to Manatee Park sometime soon.
Just had something on the news about thousands of manatees are dying.
I know, it's terrible.
I saw that on the news too, Bob. Apparently there's algae and stuff on the grass that they eat at the bottom.
Right, which kills the grass, and then they're trying their best to feed them with cabbage and lettuce and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, they're dying like crazy.
Give them all the kale they want.
No kidding.
Agreed. Bill Johnson, how are you, you old fart?
Oh, Bart, I should think.
Look at all the folks on Facebook. Good to see you all.
And
Good
you
to see
as
you.
well.
Up to 20, up to 30 now.
Yeah, up to 30 people today.
But some of us are in Florida, right?
Yes.
We are.
And some
a
of us
beautiful
aren't.
view of Ryerson Creek out my window. I'm going to go grab my lunch.
Christine and her staff are enjoying honey from the Ryerson Creek Bee. My wife has like 5 or 6 hives right there at the United Way building, and she pulled all the honey from those and bottled them up for them.
Wow, cool.
So that's really local honey.
Yeah.
Out your back door.
Gary Nealon, Christy Nagengas, Susan Besteman, you all have guests, so come on up here with your guests and introduce them to the club. I also want to welcome Pastor Robert Blanchard from Community United Methodist Church in North Muskegon, who's joining us on Zoom, as well as the other 29 people on Zoom this week. So we have 30 people on Zoom and 60 here in person. So fantastic turnout for our meeting today. See you, Susan, are you up first? All right.
Yeah, I am. Well, good afternoon. I'm Susan Besteman with Besteman Properties Group, and this is Chris Legg. He's one of our agents on our team. Thanks.
Hello. Hey, Tim.
On the red carpet. Today I have my guest is my niece Stephanie Tushek, and former Rotaractor, president of the Rotaract Club, I think, at Baker, and all that sort of stuff. And now she's thinking of joining the club. She works at Lamar Advertising, so all of you who need to buy billboards, she's the person to see. And so hopefully she joins the club soon. So welcome back, Stephanie.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Christine Nagengas, Vice President of Finance at Mercy Health, and my guest is Emma Peterson. Many of you may know her as Emma Torreson. She's our Director of Philanthropy at Mercy Health. So, as was just said, if anybody needs to donate any money, she's your person. Thanks, Emma.
Thanks, Christy.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, meet John Van Lente. He's been away for a while. He's former member of our club, past president of 2 other Rotary clubs, one in Florida and one in Guatemala, where he donates his time to work in a primary care clinic up in the mountains of Guatemala, stemming from a Rotary project when he was president in Florida of that club. Still there, working with mental health and family counseling. John is a licensed master social worker. He had a distinguished career in Muskegon, and his stepson, by the way, is Mark Grimmett, who leads our luge efforts nationally and was and still is pretty famous around Muskegon. Let's give John a welcome.
Hey, I'm going to call Tim Arter up to introduce our program today.
It's with great pleasure that I wish to introduce Cindy Larson, who's president of Muskegon Lakeshore Chamber of Commerce and a fellow Muskegon Rotarian and one of Muskegon's shining stars. Cindy will give us an update on a number of our Muskegon area business segments, including some exciting recent and current initiatives. As president, Cindy oversees the Chamber, which is an advocacy and community development organization with over 1,250 members. The Chamber has won numerous state and national awards for its overall programs and communications. Cindy has served on a number of regional and national boards. She's very active and been involved in reinventing our waterfront community, including marketing the cruise ship industry, promoting the great art and great outdoors of Muskegon Lakeshore, and serving as an advocate of the Michigan blue economy. Cindy is a graduate of Central Michigan University. Go fry up chips. Before moving to the Chamber, she spent a number of years marketing in the State of Michigan Economic Development Office. If you would, please welcome Cindy Larson.
Okay, how does that sound? Good? Okay, great. Thank you so much for this opportunity. You know, I love being here and I haven't been here for quite a while. So I am going to quickly go through these slides because I do think that this group probably knows a lot about what's happening. So this is just kind of a high level presentation on the community. It's one that we use to educate people who are new to the community or thinking about investing here. And then at the end of it, I'll go over a couple of the Chamber stats so you can listen to see how the Chamber is doing. So I'm going to go ahead and, well, first of all, someone said, please appreciate the beautiful photography that we have of our community, and that is Muskegon's image right there. And we are starting to get people to understand that. Okay, just so you know, through COVID, everything, it paused, but it still continued. A lot of things kept going even during COVID. And so we didn't lose too much traction, but now it's really starting to ramp up again. So in this last 3 years, it is over $1 billion in investment, and it's pretty much evenly spread throughout all of the sectors. And that's also good news, and that means it's a healthy economy. Obviously, tourism leader. That has been something we still, believe it or not, don't quite have what we want in terms of a reputation when it goes beyond maybe the coast. So we have a lot of work to do in that area, but there's just some stats right there for you to take a look at. And again, our tourism industry is also very well-rounded, which again makes it super healthy and sustainable going forward. A big one to watch, and I'm sure you all know about this, and maybe they've had the presentation here already. This will be a game changer, and so something I hope that you follow closely. because we are known for having a great art museum in the art circles, but not necessarily with the general public. So this is going to change our image and bring people in just for the art. I mean, they if they're passing by Muskegon, they'll stop for the art. We all go to the art, come from Grand Rapids, or if you're really, really traveling the country. But this will take it to a whole nother level, and let's watch it progress over the next couple of years. It's going to be super exciting. Another game changer, the convention center. Sadly, COVID is slowing this progress down, I'm sorry to say, but everybody will tell you, Bob Lukens, the management people here, the interest is super high. And if you think about it, really, there is no other place in Michigan like this. Grand Rapids, of course, is going after the big conventions. We're not trying to even go there. We're not in that arena. We are the mid-sized conventions, and there is no place else in Michigan with a convention center like this on the water. So our chances of getting all of these state associations, regional associations, niche market groups, it's going to be just work. It's hard work, but it's when they understand what we have, these conventions are going to be coming. Only thing slowing it right now is COVID. The social district, another game changer, and hopefully you all know that your Muskegon Lakeshore Chamber led the way on that for the state of Michigan. Dave Alexander there was on one of our committees, and then he took hold of it, and some things are meant to be. What are the chances that the Budweiser distributor from Muskegon County happened to be the chairman of the board of the Chamber of Commerce while this was going on? So he helped us guide us through some of the processes in Lansing. And then when COVID came, they did push this through to make it happen because they knew it was good for all of Michigan. Two things, again, who knew one business on the waterfront would really bring a whole new community. I guess I would say I've met people from all over Michigan, Indiana, Ohio, who came because they heard of the deck. I mean, that's mind-boggling. They did such a great job, and again, they continue to need our support because they are still trying to build and rebuild, and they love to hear your input. They're very welcoming of it, and a great congratulations to our local business here that made that happen. And then the Port of Muskegon. There's still people that don't realize this is going on. We did have a real pause. That industry, oh my gosh, you can imagine what happened to it during COVID. The amount of money lost in this industry is just, it's mind-boggling. The companies that were diversified and did more than cruise ships, they're fine, and they're coming back, and they're coming back strong. So this year, I think we have over 20 reservations. Pre-COVID, we had 50. The great thing, the new ships that are coming will be larger ships, and that will have a bigger economic impact on the community. Most of these ships are about 200 people that we get right now. They have to be smaller to fit into the Great Lakes. And so it's not really a concern in terms of COVID, super high safety issues, but we'd love to see the 400 people ships because that's really going to impact our retailers. And those are coming. There have to be brand new ships that were specially built for the St. Lawrence Seaway. And we're working really hard to get their attention and hope that they come here to Muskegon. Another game changer is what's happening out at the Luge, the adventure park, going year round. And has anybody been on the zip line yet? Ooh, okay, so you guys have a lot to look forward to. It's super exciting. Everything they're doing out there is making them more and more well-known, getting more support from the private and the public sector, working closely with our state parks. Now we're trying to get them some of that stimulus money. And what a fantastic job, all locally driven by local people. You all know that. Volunteers all started this and made it happen. Education leader, something we just take for granted here is that we have such a nice presence in education and the investments that are being made there. The downtown campus in particular for Muskegon Community College. If you haven't been there yet, you need to get over there. I actually talked to 2 people who moved to the downtown. They're older, they're not retired, one's totally retired, one's semi. They moved downtown to be near the Fab Lab. So if the Fab Lab is where you could go, any of you could go in and start making some things. And who knew that that was going to be something to attract residents? So not only is it great for workforce development, it's going to be a great way for people just to have a really unique and interesting hobby right in our downtown. The farm. This is probably the newest thing that's happened. It just opened. If you ever get a chance, I don't think they've had their official open house yet. Marty is here. Marty, there. We'll have it in the spring. It's just one of those, a project that I also think is going to be a game changer, because what it does is we have the full spectrum now. If you want to start a food business, okay, and you have this idea, and we can take you from incubator kitchen, right? You can try it out, and our incubator kitchen was right there at the farmer's market. And then you can try selling it at the farmer's market and get that immediate feedback. But now let's say you're doing you're successful, but you can no longer make a higher quantity product in your garage or in the incubator market. These are actually 3 stalls of like mini factories. And so now you can go into that next stage of your business before you know to make or the investment or get the investors to have your own food processing facility. And this is critical because anybody who knows about manufacturing and food knows it's highly, highly regulated. So a food production facility is ridiculously expensive. So you can't just, I've heard of many people just start a little machine shop in the garage, and then they buy another machine, and then ultimately they build a factory. But you can't do that with food. And Marty Grantzer is the person who made this happen. It was really hard work. She worked super hard on it, pulling all these players together, Muskegon Community College, Michigan State University, the economic development people, Grants, Gerber, everybody, all these people she had to pull together. And so we should give her a round of applause. Transportation of the future. Again, little things that start to make a huge difference. Really excited that all of these types of transportation are being addressed. Lots of work to do here yet, obviously, but getting even our modernization of our public transportation system and getting the GO buses here, the electric chargers. I think this is you're going to see a lot more happening in the future here, but at least we've got the foundation to make it happen. That's really important. Of course, Mercy Health. Again, in economic development, we always think of Mercy as a place just for us, and we don't really understand that it's also what a great place to build a career, what a great place to attract new residents. I mean, I didn't know that a lot of people, before they make a decision to move, they look and investigate the healthcare system. And so this is really important for Muskegon's sustainability going forward. So let's say the next 50 years. They're obviously a state-of-the-art facility like that. And I'm super excited to hear that Mercy has its success rate for attracting quality talent has really jumped up right with the new facility, so I'm told. So I'm really excited about that and understanding that they in and of themselves are part of our foundation, part of our community foundation. They're not just a service organization. They help provide the foundation for this community. Aerospace, they took a pause, of course, because we all stopped flying, but happy to say that Howmet is back hiring again. They've been having job fairs like crazy because the industry's starting to build. Would you believe they opened this $100 million facility right when COVID came? And they had this beautiful, high-tech, looks like a spaceship building, and nobody was in there. And so really important that this industry comes back. And if Amy Heiser here would say, if she would say right now, she'd say, get your plane reservations, go make the reservations. We need people flying in the skies again. The Leonard, a great example of just one of the latest investments for apartment living. As you can see, if you drive down the street, they're well on their way to be opening in the spring. We hope to see a few more of these in the downtown. This is just, again, it's a product that we didn't really have, and it's a very important product when people are young or old or whatever, and they're not really interested in the house with a yard. We have options now, and we did not have that 5 years ago. We're really excited to have this as an opportunity. And then, of course, all over residential development, there's a housing shortage still. Cost of construction is terrible. This is a presentation in and of itself, but throughout it all, houses are being built throughout Muskegon County. The biggest natural event taking place right now, thank you, County of Muskegon, being the driver behind this, located in Norton Shores. I'm sure in the future, this will be a great presentation if Mark hasn't done it already, or Gary. I know this is a huge part of Norton Shores strategy. What a game changer to have something like this in our community. Great art, great outdoors. So that's a saying that the chamber is going to use, because we have so much, and I'm often put in situations where, like, tell me about Muskegon, and you have 30 seconds, and you just can't say it all in 30 seconds. And so when we started to look at the assets where we really have a competitive edge, it's in the outdoors and it's in the art. But there's a lot of places that have a competitive edge in outdoors and in art, but there's very few places that have a competitive edge in both of them together. So that's what we think is unique about Muskegon. This is a quick and easy way when we're talking to strangers to explain what Muskegon's all about, is to talk about great outdoors. It's going to be a focus on the Watch Us Go website. And now when like those of you that are employers or friends and family, and you're trying to get them to move here, if you see that they have an interest in these two things, and a lot of people do, they're going to come here. I mean, it's a no-brainer. And a couple of people were just telling me about their relatives, right, who are moving to Muskegon, and it wasn't a hard sell. It's not a hard sell anymore. They just naturally saw the attractiveness of our community. Okay, so a little bit of information about the chamber. And if you don't know about Muskegon.org, and this is the chamber website, you can get to so many different places on the chamber website. So I put that on there. A big change we made this year, in the corner, you're going to see a little green thing that says Greater Muskegon Economic Development. So you can come to the chamber's site, but you can just toggle on every page over to the economic development site. We stole this from Asheville, North Carolina. We just thought it was a great way for people to have a one-stop shop, because a lot of times people will come here as a tourist, or they'll come here just for a visit, and then they actually want to do some investment here. And so this ties it all together. Okay, where's the chamber at? We're holding steady with our membership. And to be frank, we have lost some small business members. Because of this whole thing. We did put a lot of memberships on hold during the COVID, but at some point we have to let them go. But we will try to stay in communication with them so that as they build, hopefully they can come back. There's a lot of ownership changes taking place right now, and that's impacted us. So we're just happy to stay at one level and not start slipping. The great thing about this chart is the pie shows you all the different colors and similar sizes. That is healthy for us. We want to have all sectors represented in the chamber. We don't want to have a big pie that's all blue or all orange, as you can imagine. So this, and actually the chamber membership does represent the larger business community. So when our pie chart looks like that, that means the business community looks like that. So keeping diversity in business is critical, as you can imagine. The biggest challenge right now is workforce disruption. This is really going to be the test for all businesses, if they can make it through the next year or two, and being able to conquer this. People are just, as you've heard, whether they're retiring, they're just not going back to work, they're taking a break, they're leaving, whatever. It's a nightmare for almost every single industry, and figuring out how to get around that is is not easy. And we are trying to do whatever we can to help educate ourselves, as all organizations are. A lot is happening. Mercy, by the way, came up again as a leader in this area in terms of the way they try to attract new employees, and some of the practices that they use, we're hopefully going to share with the rest of the community so they can model themselves after that. The other part of this is it's just changing everything. And this is hard for us that are a little bit older to really try to embrace some of this new stuff, and the incredible flexibility of the scheduling. The robots are taking over, even during, they're taking over. The amount of robotics that we are seeing going into manufacturing right now, and they had to do it because of COVID. I've heard manufacturers talk about short orders. They're shorting the orders because they literally don't have enough product, and they say, we send these people a few, these people a few, these people a few, and then so they're investing as robots as fast as they can. And then of course, everything that's related to that with software and all of that, that's all the future. And just the lifestyle change. I mean, we're still, I mean, to have a workforce that you don't see, I don't know. Okay, oops, I'm getting to the end. Chamber survey, just FYI, this is the last slide. This is some of the issues that came up in this chamber survey. So just so you know, this is what businesses are talking about, and this is what they're interested in, and happy to say overall positive outlook. That was it.
Perfect time.
Okay.
If anyone has any questions for Cindy, Maggie will bring the mics around and you can ask her. Any questions? You always count on Dave Alexander back in his prodigal days when Cindy was giving throwing a lifeline.
Cindy, you and I have been through a couple of election cycles. Being a even year after a census, we get to switch things up. So obviously there's a bunch of new district lines being drawn at all levels. How is that affecting this community and your membership?
The redistricting is very much going to show why you need a Chamber of Commerce because it's going to take time for people to get used to this. And so we are going to make it our responsibility to figure it out so that you do have places you can go to as a resource, because we are going to double the number of representatives for Muskegon County. They've split us up. It's not just one Muskegon County now. There's different maps for the state congressional districts and a different map yet for the federal district. The number of people that will be campaigning over the next year, your head's going to spin. You're going to get confused because you don't know even where your district is. One of them has us separated from White Lake, and the other one has has Muskegon separated from Norton Shores. Yet one Norton Shores and Muskegon are together, and it's really a huge change for us, and it's happening in many, many places. So I definitely recommend that Rotary has a speaker in the future, and of course we will probably be providing speakers for this type of thing as it comes down the road. So do pay attention to redistricting and try to see if you can figure out so you know who you're supposed to vote for.
Cindy, thank you so much. Question, the casino, it got postponed. I believe it's going to be a big draw for the convention center, Muskegon, and everything that's going. So any insight?
No. I mean, we've been talking about this for years, and wanting to get that destination casino here for economic development. And the governor and you've heard me talk about this it's not just about us. It's about all of the casinos, all of the tribes, trying to come up with a win-win for the entire state. And so it's been a challenge. And once again, it got delayed. And so definitely this is the kind of thing you should talk to your elected officials about. Ask them what you should do. Who do you write? Who do you call? And because it's just a never-ending challenge as long as these other tribes are not buying in to bringing another convention into the state of Michigan. It's just silly. Detroit, we're not competing with Detroit. yet they made a big deal about it, and they're the ones that stopped it the last time.
Any other questions? Make Maggie move.
Cindy, my wife and I were residents of the Lakeside area. Are there any changes? I know there's a lot going on downtown, a lot going on all around, but Lakeside in particular being the midpoint between the downtown and the beach area, are there any plans for tourism attractions going in down in that area? Because there are some now, but the Harbor Theater, I mean, that's a huge thing that has gone away now. Is there any plans between those 2 points?
There are just more talks of entertainment and shopping, that kind of thing. It is, thank you to this beautification of Lakeside, which looks awesome and fantastic. And then, of course, the attractiveness now, even more attractiveness of Pier Marquette. It is going to be a critical hub. And so I know those of us in marketing are trying to draw that line between downtown to Lakeside and out there. Then you're going to see us now with this Lake Dunes Harbor, then that's going to go all the way over to the Dunes Harbor and try to create kind of a whole area. So when people come to Muskegon, those are the places they're coming to. And so I think it's going to a great opportunity for small businesses. If anybody's thinking of doing anything here, I think Lakeside is a great place to do it. Love to see more of that as a bike entry area too. That bike trail, we're trying to work on some destination trailheads, we're calling them, so that, we know where the trailheads are. We know how to get on the bike trail. But if you're new to the community, you really don't know where to get on the bike trail. And Lakeside should be definitely one of those. Good.
Well, thank you very much, Cindy. Let's
Thank
give
you.
Cindy
Thanks,
another round of
everybody.
applause. For presenting today, our club will make a donation to community economic development on your behalf. So thank you so much. And I've known you for 20 years, and I learned today that you hail also from the finest university in the state. So you learn something new when you come to Rotary. Blue. I've heard of that one too. All right. All right, birthdays. Kate Scarborough on the 20th, Dwayne Schechter on the 20th also, and Steve Dix on the 23rd. Is anyone here? It's my mic and my rules, so if you're not here, we're not going to sing. Get Marcia. Well, Marcia's is on the 22nd, and I also found out I'm in your district now, so another good one. Let's sing for Marcia since we're here. All right. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. There we go. On to our member spotlight, and January is Vocational Avenue of Service Month, and we've been highlighting our Vocational Avenue of Service all year, and today we're going to hear from our President-elect, Jane Klingman Scott, on her career and what she did professionally out in the world.
I'm Jane Klingman Scott. I've been in Rotary since 2001. And what I found when I joined Rotary is it really widened my circle. I'm married to Greg Scott. He was the director of Pioneer Resources for 30 years. We have a blended family of kids that moved from Wyoming, state of Wyoming, Ten Sleep, Wyoming, Escanaba, and right here in Glenside. I've been retired for 5 years, I guess. From adult education, I moved into 25 years of neighborhood development. Then I segued back into education, teaching at Baker College, and I ended my career at the Great Start Collaborative. One of the things that I have come to in my retirement and being able to reflect on life and career backwards is how are we connecting with each other in the most positive way? We have come through a period of discord where almost anything in life can create discord in our community. But we need to be able to face each other on what we have in commonality. Rotary is a place where we can walk in and leave our differences at the door and start building a kind of community that's going to focus just on how we increase our well-being. And that I hope is something that I can contribute to.
All right. Thank you very much, Jane. On to committee reports and announcements. Our first announcement is that we have a new chair of our Rotary Seaway Run Committee, and that chair is Rob Taylor. So Rob, if you could please stand, be recognized. I want to thank Rob for raising his hand, and the committee chair's primary responsibility is to rally support for Rotary's contribution to Seaway Run, which we partner with the Muskegon Y, and head up sponsorships and race day volunteers. So Rob has a list, and you may be on that list. So be ready when your name is called, because many hands make light work. And I want to thank Rob for volunteering and congratulate him on his new position. Thanks, Rob. Okay. District Raffle. Ginny Sprague is helping out with our district raffle. So she has raffle tickets here. If you would like to buy one, they're $20. I already got mine last week, so they're flying off the shelf, right? I could buy one this week, that's true. Good point. There are no limits, so you can buy tickets if you want. $20 proceeds go towards the district, and last year the winner got $1,500. So donation for a good cause and possible nice size prize. Mike Vogus is at it again, and he's going to share a quick video about the Club Runner app. How many, just show of hands, have the Club Runner app on their phone? If you do not have this, this is a must for getting a hold of people in Rotary. The program book works just fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's got a ton of handy features, and if you want to look up a Rotarian's name, it'll not only put their contact in your phone, but it'll put their Club Runner photo in too. So Mike, why don't you take it away and tell us a little bit more about the app.
Muskegon Rotary on speed dial. You may be surprised to learn how easy it is to put all Muskegon Rotary Club members' phone numbers onto your smartphone. Here's a short tutorial on the free Club Runner app. To download the app from the Apple App Store or from Google Play, simply type in Club Runner in the search bar on your phone. The mobile app is compatible with all versions of the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch, sets that have iOS 3.1 or later, and with versions of Androids that are 2.3.3 or better. When the download finishes, enter your username and password. You now have all of us at your fingertips. And now that your Muskegon Rotary Club Runner username and password are top of mind, you can regularly check out the committee updates page to find out what's new and interesting in our Muskegon Rotary world.
Rewind meets tonight at Rake Beer Project at 5:15. Esther Rico will have an update on the Adopt a Highway initiative that the Rewind Club is undertaking. So if you're interested in catching the evening meeting, they do a recap of our meeting, and they also talk about service projects that the evening club is involved in. So that's 5:15 at Rake Beer Project in downtown Muskegon. All right, now on to another club meeting. So we have one order of business, and it is the election of the office of treasurer. So on behalf of the nominating committee, Jim Fisher being the chair, we sought candidates for the office of treasurer of the Muskegon Rotary Club Board of Directors for the 2022-23 calendar year. The nominating committee submitted the name of Christy Nagengast, as the nominee for the office of treasurer to the Muskegon Rotary Board of Directors. At the Tuesday, January 11th, 2022 meeting, the Board of Directors approved Christie's nomination for the office of treasurer. At this time, I will ask for any other nominations from the floor.
I make a motion to close the nominations for the office of treasurer and cast a unanimous ballot for Christine Egging.
All right, a motion from Tim Arter and support from, I heard someone in the back, support. All right, hearing no other nominations for the treasurer, I move to second and motion. Sorry about that. I'm getting through the motion here. All those in favor of the motion to close the nominations for treasurer and cast a unanimous ballot for Christine Agingast as treasurer signify by saying aye. Aye. All right. Any opposed, same sign? All right, the motion carries. Christy, if you'd like to rise, just recognize. Congratulations, Christy, on your new nomination. Okay, on to our raffle. I think Mary Beth Ramos has our raffle today. Which one are we doing first? We're doing $10 first. 640 is the number. Six three. Look at that, Susan. All right, $20. Doc, the big winner. All right. I want to thank all our visiting Rotarians and guests for joining us today. Stephanie, Emma, Chris, Robert, and Cindy for a wonderful presentation. Next week's program will be former Rotarian and friend of all of us, Al Steinman will be here giving an update on the Grand Valley State University Annis Water Research Institute. So you want to come out and hear that, and we'll plan on having application handy so we can get Al back in the club. Okay, if everyone could please rise for the four-way test. Of the things we think, say, and do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendship? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
concerned.
All right, we're adjourned. Enjoy the rest of your week.